So welcome. I'm glad that you could all join me tonight. I spent a lot of this week contemplating and focusing on prayer and devotion. Unsurprising, given that I'm reading Stephanie Woodfield and Karen Storminger's Prayers to the Morrigan book, as well as Stephanie's Dedicant, Devotee, and Priest book. I've slowly just my way through that one. Surprisingly, I'm not going to be talking too much about prayer and devotion tonight. Mainly because in my prayers and conversation this week, something came up, and that was self-care, particularly after kind of sort of a stagnant period or a toxic period. If you have a special need, someone that needs prayers, yourself, blessings, energy, there'll be time at the end to share and you're invited to turn your camera on and off at that time, or your mic on, and you can share those requests, or if you have your own devotional words that you'd like to add, I definitely encourage it. The only thing I ask is that any prayers and requests for other people is to have consent, because consent is really important, even as something as simple as prayer. So shall we begin? Sheath konev, nev kodoven, doven fonim, nurtsikal an farlan. We gather for peace, we gather for love, we gather for connection. In this virtual space, we invite the gods to join us. May our minds be clear and our ears sharp and our hearts open to their presence. Hail and be welcome. And in this space, we invite the spirits that walk with us, spirits of land and place, spirits of homes and hearth. Hail and be welcome. And in this space, we invite the ancestors, those that walked before us, those who guide us, and those that protect us. Hail and be welcome. We pray for peace. We pray for the innocent, the civilians, those caught in the middle. We pray for the women, we pray for the children, and we pray for the men. We pray for justice, for the blood spilled because of greed, for the harms caused because of the desire for power, for the cruel and unjustified ending of life. We pray for justice. And we ask that the gods protect the mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the fathers, the sons and brothers. Protect those that fight against this injustice, and for comfort for those whose homes have been lost, for those who struggle to fill their bellies, and those who have lost loved ones, friends, and community. We pray that their cries fall on the ears of those that can make a difference. May we find the generosity to aid where we can. May we open our doors and our hearts to their plight. And may we find the strength to continue to endure as we face an onslaught of divisiveness, anger, hatred, and cruelty. May we find the strength to be the tools of peace. Shiath ben Shiana, may it be 9 times eternal. So I was really weighed down with myself this past week. I was struggling to feel connected to the divine. I was dealing with a lot of pain and some really poor mental health. There are lots of things I turn to when I get in this mindset, but 2022 has been an absolute challenge for me at times. And I found I needed to do something different. So I tried to change my meditation a bit, and I had to let go of the thought that I needed to figure this out on my own, that there was, only a handful of people in my life I could turn to, and I just had to, I pretty much had to resign to bring this up in prayer during my morning meditations with the Morrigan. My conversation went a little bit like this. I'm struggling like hard and I'm asking for help here and I'm not getting anywhere because you're not listening. What do you mean I'm listening? I'm sitting here meditating. I'm listening, I swear. Are you taking care of yourself? Sort of, kind of. Not even. You keep putting it off. You keep ignoring the 500-pound sack of emotional baggage you're carrying. No wonder you're in pain. You keep focusing on everything around you without addressing the shit inside you that you need to focus on. I can't help you with these things. This is your work. I know. It's a bit uncomfortable though, and fuck, you're right. Thanks for calling me out. You're welcome. Now get up on that self-care journey. That's pretty much how it went, kind of, sort of. Maybe a little flair for the dramatic. Not really. Now it's an answer, but it's not the complete answer. The gods, particularly the Morgan, don't do the work for you. And the work is part of the answer. I had to spend a lot of time figuring out a lot of shit. I started paying attention to things like, what was really making me upset? When was I being in a lot of pain? What was going on when I was feeling depressed, when I was avoiding the things I shouldn't be avoiding? And, this week's been a week, but it's only been a week. And thus far, I'm only hitting the surface. But there's a lot of revelation in just this week alone because I've let go and started to examine what I needed to examine. There's a lot going on in my head, and it's not pretty. Let me tell you. One of the things I've realized is the gods want us to thrive, but they aren't our servants or our caretakers. Like good parents, they will not do everything for us, particularly the stuff we can do ourselves, like taking care of ourselves, like facing our shadow selves and healing our wounds. Say you cut yourself badly and you're alone, it's just you. You have to take care of it first, right? You can't just jump in your car bleeding everywhere and rush off to the hospital. Unless the hospital is super close, you're going to run the risk of unconsciousness and maybe even death from blood loss, depending on how deep the cut is. No, you stop the bleeding the best you can. You have to take care of it first. You have to apply pressure and stop the bleeding or slowing it as best you can. You triage yourself. And that's what some of our self-care is. Yes, we can appeal to the gods to help us heal, and the gods can bless us with healing. But we have to triage first. We have to tend to our spiritual wounds, stopping them from getting worse. And we also have to provide our own aftercare. We may get that blessing of healing, but it's not going to do any good if we don't aftercare ourselves. It's like slapping a Band-Aid on that knife cut and calling it healed. We didn't clean it, we didn't get it stitched up, and we aren't making sure it stays dry and protected. Maybe not the best example, but close enough, right? Life is returning to normal, but for many of us, there's a lot of stuff going around mentally and spiritually and emotionally from the past 2 years. And we can't overlook the toll it took on our bodies. Our bodies carry our trauma, and it accumulates unless we actively purge and heal ourselves. So take care of yourself. Take time out of your day to meditate and figure out your own head. Listen to your body and your soul. Prioritize yourself, at least for a little bit of time each day. It's not selfishness. If you serve a God that pushes you, you can't serve them if you start falling apart. If you're taking care of a family or working a job that's strenuous, emotionally, mentally, or physically, you aren't going to last long if you don't take care of yourself. We live in a society that devalues self-care unless you happen to be rich. We all see the articles and the practices of famous and rich people. And from a certain perspective, AKA a poor one, where our focus is survival and making ends meet, we kind of scoff. Like, it must be nice to spend thousands on massages and these fancy holistic services. Thing is we don't need thousands of dollars for self-care. And that's probably maybe the one thing that the rich are doing right, is they're taking care of themselves because they can afford to. But like I said, you don't need thousands of dollars to do this. Find something that resonates with you. A hot bath or shower with some essential oils, or fresh herbs, a DIY salt scrub, a DIY infused oil, and take 20 minutes to pamper your body. Go for a walk. It can be slow, it can be fast. Go at the pace you need. Just get out there, fresh air and movement in your body. Drink water, lots of water, or tea, just as good. Treat yourself. Go and get a fancy $5 dessert from Starbucks if you have to. Or, if you're lucky enough to have a really good bakery down the street, do it. Go there, get it, enjoy it, savor it. Take a nap. Sleep is delicious. Sleep, it's so underrated. Read a good book. Sit in a hammock or lounge chair and meditate, or just stare at the sky. Listen to the world around you. Listen to your soul. Journal. I'm always going to tell you to journal. Always, every day. Talk to someone, a friend, family member, counselor, therapist, a priest or priestess. If you need someone to listen, reach out. Don't be afraid to, and don't be embarrassed. It's what we're here for. It's what good friends are there for. You've got this. Stretch, dance, drum, sit by a fire, cry, laugh, scream. Scream out loud. Who cares? Keen. If you need to keen, mourn all the shit that you went through the past 2 years, the friends you've lost, and maybe not even just physically lost, but like mentally lost. I'm sure we all have that friend that, isn't really a friend anymore. Mourn them. It's okay. You get the point. So at this time, I invite you to come forward with prayers or blessings of your own. If not, I've always got a few prayers I can share, and then we can go into a meditation. Okay. I send prayers of support to the people of Ukraine and anywhere else affected by violence and war. I send a prayer for those dealing with grief. I say a prayer for those who have passed. And I pray for those troubled in their hearts, spirits, and life. May you find the answers, the strength, and the peace that you seek. Okay, so close your eyes and focus on your breath. Just breathe in and out slowly, as long as you're comfortable. These few weeks, months, probably years have been hard. They've brought out fears, anxieties, anger, and sadness. For some of us, grief. But spring is upon us, and with it, renewal. The wheel ever turns, each season a purpose. Go through your body with each breath, starting with your head. Breathe in and feel for any tension and stagnant energy within. As you breathe out, release that tension and stagnation. If you need to focus on an area in your body longer, do so. And if you are uncomfortable, relax and just focus on your breath rather than your body. Go down your neck and your shoulders, then down your arms. Focus on your chest, moving down slowly with each breath into your stomach and your lower belly. Go to your hips and down your legs until you reach your feet and your toes. When you feel completely relaxed, let your mind trace over your body and then dissolve into the darkness. Your body and your mind are now floating within liminal space. It is a safe space, warm and filled with a feeling of calmness and comfort. As you sit in this comfortable place, the darkness fades, and before you is a river. It's not a raging one, but calm and steady. You are welcome to follow it for a while. There is a defined dirt path, one side with beautiful flowers and trees, and the other, the flowing water. The sound is relaxing, and you can feel the healing energy of this place. Eventually, you come to a spot that is perfect for sitting. Flat rocks and tree stumps are placed, and you can sit down and watch the river go past. It is a protected spot, and nothing unwanted may enter this place. So sit, watch, and listen. Something or someone joined you. Who is it? Talk with them. It is almost time to go, but before you do, your visitor gives you a gift. Accept it if you want. Thank them and say your goodbyes, though you are always welcome to return to this place. Look at your gift and know that is something given freely that will help you in your healing and self-care. Treasure it. And now walk back up the trail, slowly noting the trail around you. As you get closer to where you entered this place, the world begins to fade and you return to the darkness. It is calming and comforting. You're floating within liminal space, relaxed. Feel as the darkness around you begins to trace along your body as it begins to take form once more. Feel your breath in your chest and the flow of blood that traverses along the miracle that is your body. Feel your feet and legs, your hips and torso, belly and chest, up to your arms and shoulders, your neck and head. Breathe once again, and then feel your fingers and toes wiggling. You're back safe and sound and relaxed. Before you open your eyes, I'll once again share this Gaelic blessing by John Rutter. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the infinite peace to you. Open your eyes and ground a little. Drink some water, eat a little bit of something, stretch. Take some time to journal as soon as you can. I hope this time has renewed and strengthened your spirit, and I hope you have found a deeper connection within yourself. I hope you can move forward towards a future wiser and trusting that you are incredible, strong, wise, and free. Free to live, free to grow, and learn and evolve. You are sacred. And with that, our time together ends. We give thanks to the ancestors. May you ever walk with us, guiding us and protecting us. Hail and merry part. We give thanks to the spirits that joined us. May there ever be peace between us. Hail and merry part. And we give thanks to the gods that accompanied us and made their presence known. Hail and merry part. Sheath ben Shiana, may it be 9 times eternal. And I give you thanks for joining me today. Hail and merry part.